Round opponents are somewhere tonight.
Let's do this.
It's always good to see you, Mike. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, my friend, it is so good to hang out with you. How was your day going?
You know, it is an awesome day. Let me show you, man. I might as well share with the Roundup homies. You can see my pictures here. I went to my new house today,
There we go.
and oh well, it didn't update.
Chris
Why
is
didn't?
building a beauty. I can't wait to get out there and hang out in his crib when he
Yeah,
gets
it's
this
gonna be
thing done.
fun. Thank you for your consultations on that stuff too, Mike. With the, if it wasn't for you, I would have had a 19-foot garage. That would have been
No
such a
problem, my
suck.
friend. You
I would
you
have
helped
been.
me out so much with social media stuff. I owe you, bro. I
You
owe
know
you.
what? I'm looking at my man with the builder. He goes, Chris, I build houses, man. And the people have to I build a house and then I got to go build a shed in the back. I'm like, I would be such a loser. Could you imagine having a big, like, damn. Now I
Yeah.
got to go build a shed because my garage is too small.
Yeah, exactly. So many people do that. That's a big thing in the Midwest where they got their house, their garage, and then they got a shed out back for all their stuff because their garage is too, they have two cars, takes it all up, right?
Man.
Yeah.
What up going on, Roundup homies? I'm Chris Haskins. I'm your co-host for the night. We're just gonna go. Actually, we're coming on here to. We were more talking about all the people that we're going to see Friday. I think we got 80. I don't even know how many people have signed up already. It might convince me to just come on to the channel too so I can talk to you guys about private money. I'm going to pray that you are opening up your mind to stop begging banks for loans and stop having to deal with getting underwriters to look at all of your deals, right? Now, some, or maybe a portion of it, but just don't solely depend on banks for financing. Thank you so much for helping me out with this, Mike.
Oh, absolutely, brother. I'll tell you what. I'm doing a deal right now, and we raise money in our multifamily deals, and we leverage banks too, and we do money. But every time, the most stressful thing we do, bar none, is deal with banks. That's the most stressful thing. And if you
Didn't
can,
they just change the term? Didn't they just change the term on you on a deal?
oh yeah, they did. They just changed because they can, and the government jacked up the rate on them. So I'm not blaming them, but it's just so stressful, man. If you can get those pesky banks out of there, it's like you go into the gym, you see the scrawny guy and you see the jacked guy, you become the jacked person. When you can see that you're like, that's the guy I want to be. It's or the ripped whatever your body type you want is. But the point is, you'll be that when you can get these banks out of here. And I learned that the hard way. And so this is a powerful. Chris and I did this because we're like, can you imagine if the people on Chris's channel, all of you that are following Chris, and the people that are on my IG or on my YouTube that are following us, are saying, hey, can you imagine if all these people knew they didn't have to, lean on banks? I mean, just the world opens up.
I get so many direct messages, Mike. People like, Chris, you make it look so easy. This guy, I'm gonna go to the bank. I'm like, have you ever in my channel seen me go in and apply? I've not once. I'm getting people wiring this money all around the country. They're bringing it in. So I think that's one of the reasons that it looks like it's a little easier to do. That's all, y'all.
Yeah, totally, totally. And I'll tell you, when you get into the real estate game, nobody tells you this. Nobody told me this. I'll say that. Nobody told me that the people that made the money in real estate are the people funding the real estate and the people managing the money of the real estate. It isn't even
Right.
necessarily the brick and mortar owners.
Mm-mm.
And so I tell you that so you can be on the right side of this equation, right? And so
There you
real
go.
estate's just an equation. Got to find deals, got to find money, got to operate or move it into some sort of lease option where they're doing whatever. It's just a formula. And if you can be the right
Mhm.
side on the right side of this, man, you're positioned really
I
well.
love it. I love it, man. So round up. Listen, we're on here tonight. All of the 80, I don't know, 70 or 80 people that are signed up for our 2-day private money mastery event. We want to just give you one last opportunity, if you haven't already, to upgrade to the VIP. It's going to cost
Yeah.
you a tank of gas until midnight tonight. You got like 3 hours left. After that, the price will go up because I like to surround myself by winners and action takers. People, I'm just coming back from trainings. I spent $5,000 on a training. We're charging you $100, so the price is extremely low. But I want to be around winners, right? People that are ready to take action. It's not to say that you have to do it. You don't have to, but it's just something about being around people, Mike, including Mike, the dude. Man, where did you get that from, Mike? Like, boom, let's do it right now. Let's go.
That is a good question. I got that probably from my mom. My mom got it. My grandpa was a kind of a mover and shaker in the business world, and my mom never started her own business, but she worked her way up from a typist to a VIP or VP of a major insurance organization. She's just a doer, and she just instilled that in me. But when I see that, I just want you all to understand that action taking that you see. I've made way more mistakes than I've made successes. I want you to understand that. I don't want you to see Chris and I and think we are at the end of the tunnel. We just have been down the tunnel. We've tripped over things that we don't want you to trip over. We want to show you the right way. And so I've made just as many mistakes with my fast action as I have mistakes. But I can tell you this, the book Think and Grow Rich, if you've never read it, please read it or get the audio. If you're not really a reader, get the audio.
It's free on YouTube.
Yeah, it is. That's right. It's free on YouTube. Great point. But in that book, one of his 13 principles of success is people are decisive by nature. Successful people are decisive by nature. And so you really want to ramp up that decisive action when you know something's right for you. I'm not telling you if your gut's telling you no, then I'm not saying push forward through that. Don't do that. But when your gut's telling you yes, take action, because I'm telling you, I've got all the times I've gotten myself in trouble, Chris, is when I went against that gut or didn't listen to it when I should have went forward.
Me too, every time. 100% of the time. I don't listen to my gut, I lose.
Yeah, 100%. Whether it's don't do something or do something. If something's in you saying, yeah, raising money will give me the edge, you're learning that. My goodness, you can get a ticket for $5. And if you want to get a bunch of courses and be in the Zoom room with Chris for $97, you can get that too. And you can learn. We're going to be 2 days dropping real content. We're going to interview. I'm really actually excited about this part. Chris is going to interview one of his lenders.
Yeah.
And I'm going to interview one of my investors. So you know exactly what these people are looking for before they give you money.
Not only what they're looking for, what do they look like? Like, what is the process?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, is it a grandma? Is it a grandpa? Is it an elderly person? What do they even look like?
Yeah, I used to think, Chris, when you think about rich, it was these guys in suits and, briefcases and these rich. And I'll tell you, it is the average everyday person in jeans and a t-shirt driving a Ford F-150 that invests in 90% of our deals.
Yep.
I mean, it just ain't the person you think, and in learning that process. But when I first started, I didn't know what to say to him. Like, what do I say to him? I just go up and say, will you give me money? Like, what do you say? How do you position it? How do you talk about it? That's what we're going to be talking about this Friday and Saturday, just a few days.
Yeah, we were talking about the other position in real estate. Well, I think position is just so important. Like, when I'm borrowing money, I am borrowing money. And I don't want people to think that, what's the saying? Neither a lender or a borrower be. Please get that out of your head, man.
Yeah.
Please get that out. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with borrowing money, y'all. I mean, we do it and we do deals every day. Nothing wrong with it.
No.
But when you're going to borrow money, you're not begging. You're not like, oh, please give me money. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that you are actually in the driver's seat when you borrow.
You are. And if people can see that, I think that's a muscle and a confidence thing you got to build, I feel like. Because when I first started, I felt like that until I realized how much value I brought to these investors, and then I could switch that off. But it took me a while. And so that's what we want to teach you, is that how to think about this, because there's a way you can communicate it where they want to give you money. Like, I don't really say, hey, I tell people that I'm raising money for a deal, and they're like, how do I get in? What's the process? Who do I need to call? Like, that's more the conversation than me saying, hey, you really need to invest in this deal. That's not how it goes. I promise you.
You know what? I wanted to share my screen, Mike, while we're here, man.
Love it.
I had an email from one of my lenders yesterday. I wanted to show. I couldn't show it last night. So this is a roundup homies and my new private money homies in the group. So let me just show. This is from one of my lenders, right? Wish I could see this. So when I'm showing y'all this to let you know that when you turn yourself into a savvy borrower, people will be throwing money at you, right? So I copied the email. It says, Chris, don't forget to send me your bank info. I'm like, why is the guy? First, I'm thinking, like, why does he want my bank info? Also, do you have any ideas as to when you'll need the cash? I'm in the middle of transferring money from my checking account to savings account, and it'll be at least a few days before the funds will be ready. I will be sending the funds directly to your account of your choosing. So I just want you guys to understand that, we're not out here. I'm not begging for anything. Like when you change your mindset, they will be throwing money at you. And I'm like, don't send me the money. Send it to the title company. We'll do all that stuff. But once you develop these relationships with these lenders, they are just Myron Golden says people will be happy and crying and thankful for what you're going to do for them in tears, thanking you to give you their money. So I have to I'm telling you, Mike, I got to remind myself, like if you provide the right service for people, that even for me, I'm like, when I go to a restaurant and I get phenomenal, I'm like, boom, boom. I love giving. I'm like, man, that was great service.
Totally.
Let's
I love tipping people
Yeah.
that provide value. Absolutely.
Yes, dude.
Absolutely. Let me show
Yeah.
Chris after you did
You got
that.
one
Let me
too?
show.
I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah, let me show something real quick because I want you to see this is not so that you guys don't
This
think
ain't
that
no
Chris and I are
theory.
just this is not just theory. There it is. Go, you can
You
pull
in
that
there?
up, bro.
Okay.
Yep, go for it. So this is an email right here I sent out to my list. By the way, Chris and I are going to talk about how to build a list and how to build people to email. I just sent an email, and this was his exact.
Zoom in.
I'm going to see if I can zoom in real quick. We're right there. Let me see if I can zoom in. How do I zoom this in?
Do the thing with your fingers. You got a Mac?
Hey, don't make fun of me because I'm Mac, baby.
Lord, man, stupid.
I'm just gonna read it, but it's I can't get it. I can't get it to zoom. But anyway, it says, Mike, if you need 250 to 300,000 on this project, I'll put it in. What's the cash return and what am I going to make? He just sent me an email. He just said, if you need 250 to 300. So here's what I told him. We have about 450 of space, 450,000 of space left in the deal. His email back to me is like, well, if that's what you have left, I think I'll just take that then.
Holy cow, the whole thing.
Just took the whole thing. Done. Sweet. And so I just want you to see, like, when you're just out there doing the right things, this is what happens. And if somebody would have said this back when I was just starting, I would have been a big skeptical, and you probably are too. I'm guessing, maybe not.
But you can't be skeptical with emails, though. I mean,
yeah, no, but they might think, oh yeah, Mike, but that's you and Chris. But I want y'all to know
that is true. That ain't right.
It's just a system. All it is. It's just a system. People that go to work get paid, right? It's the system. If you don't go to work, usually you don't get paid. So it's like you do the right things, you get the right results. And so we want to just share with you how we do this and kind of open up our book. We're going to talk with our investors. We're going to talk with students in our coaching program that are getting results right now. 3 of them just teamed up on a deal to raise $300,000. And
they did a beast on that.
Yeah. And the leader of that group just got done raising $450,000 for one of her deals. And because it's just a system.
It's just a system, y'all.
That's all it is.
Mindset first, and then back into the system.
Absolutely. We always say mindset, skill set, effort over time, right? Mindset plus you got to grow that skill set. Then once you have the mindset and skill set, do effort, action, and then you just got to divide it by time. You just got to do it long enough for that to work out.
It does take time.
It does. Take time. Remember what Jim Rohn said? Most people aren't patient enough to be successful.
I like that.
And I wasn't. I'm about the least impatient. I'm about the least patient.
You're pretty.
Yeah, Chris will tell you, I'm about the least patient person you'll ever meet. But I really want people to know this, man. I wish I had known this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and we want people to know it. Hey, what's happening, Ron? How you doing, brother or sister?
Let's see, Aaron. I like to say the L we take are the lessons to be able to get us to the W we want to get to. I like
that. Yeah,
I like that.
You got that right.
What's going on?
The soul. I like that name.
That's right. C Rose, thanks for supporting the channel, brother. Money needs to move. It cannot sit idle. That's true. It is currency, a current.
You got that, Don. Yes, you are right.
Such a good point, man. It's a current.
And that's what economy is. Money moves. That's what the economy is money. If money doesn't move, the economy doesn't grow, right?
It stops. That's true. So somebody's already in. I don't know who that is. Facebook user. So, Mike, we start on Friday. What is it? I know you're Eastern. What is
10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and depending on where you're at, or if you're Central or Mountain, because I know Chris has listeners all over, or if you're in our group already. Some of you are in the group already, because we're also streaming this to our group. Make sure you snag your VIP. The VIP goes up tonight. It doubles in price tonight. We want to We want to reward the action takers. But that's why we're here, just to remind you, because I get busy and forget. Snag your ticket tonight so you can get all the goodies and be in the two big things you get. You're going to get some courses and some awesome stuff, but you get to be in the Zoom room with Chris and I, and you get recordings to the event just in case you miss something.
It's about being in the room. Here's the thing that I'm learning, Mike. I got this new tactic and strategy that I was doing with Zooms when I'm going to these trainings.
Yeah.
As opposed to me just being an observer, right? I'm
Yeah.
just going to give this to everybody, right? So if you have the $5 ticket, you will get the streaming, but the VIP allows you to be in the room with us, right? The Zoom room, you can actually ask questions. But in addition to that, let me tell you, I just did this. I was in the Myron Golden thing in the Zoom room. I paid a bunch of money to be in there. You can scrape and go through the people that are actually in the Zoom room with you and send them direct messages and say, hey, what do you think about this and that? I have met some unbelievable people just by spending a few dollars to put myself in the Zoom room where I can just go through. You can see all the people like, send them a direct message. What's your business? Boom, boom. You can, you're gonna meet people because you know they're like-minded because they're in the same conference as you.
Totally. That's such a good point, Chris. And I think that's with Zoom, it's lost that edge unless you take the initiative. It's not a lot of value. But if you take initiative, I cannot explain the power of the room.
I met lawyers, people that we're doing business with already because we were at at inside the Zoom room. So you can send them a message and meet them. And it's not like when you're live, like going up to somebody can be a little intimidating from time to time. With Zoom, hey, you got a website or give me your paid LinkedIn. You can kind of go research them, or you can research them before you even reach out to them because their name is right there. So that's just a benefit from my experience. I'm telling y'all, this is how y'all know that I've learned how this internet thing works, and this being in the Zoom room is another skill you got to learn now. You got to learn.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point, Chris. But I'll guarantee if you're not in the Zoom room, you don't even get to learn it, and that's what we want to help you out with.
No, you won't get that. Replay, chasing houses. Yes, if you get the VIP, you do get the recordings, my brother, but you don't have to.
Yep, exactly. And with that, you get the Zoom room, you get the recordings, and there's some courses Chris and I are throwing in there: negotiation Bible, prospectus, a couple courses we throw in there, real estate lead generation, all kinds of goodies for you to.
Did you give them your what is it?
Your multifamily 5-day challenge. They got the 5-day recording of the challenge. It's like 6 hours of content. I think it's actually more. And you're going to get that whole thing.
How about there's another thing you had, Mike, where there was an analyzer or something? Is that just for
the deal analyzer? Yeah, the deal analyzer. So that the deal analyzer is in the challenge notes. So if you go in the challenge, you'll get the challenge note that's in there.
That's a beast right there. Okay, yes, round up. Any questions? No questions here. But Mike, tomorrow. So Friday, you're going to meet my lenders. You're going to meet Mike's investors. We've got a whole bunch of other inner circle members coming on, telling you what they're doing. But the main thing is you got to understand there's 2 ways to raise money. We're going to go over investors, lenders. Mike's a master at one. I'm a master at the other. I got to say, I have to speak it. I've raised tons of money, and we still do, to buy real estate. So you can do it 1 or 2 ways, or do a hybrid of both. Which, Mike, are you doing that now? Putting both?
Yeah. Now we do on this latest deal. We did a hybrid of both equity investors, which is what I really do, and then the lending side. Chris has really turned me onto that lending side, and so we bring in some lending partners too for some short-term loans for like renovations and that kind of stuff. And so really fits well on that level.
All right. So in the video description below, you're going to see, just if you haven't got your ticket yet, sign up. If you have and you didn't get the VIP, you get a few more hours to get the early bird special for the VIP. And we thank you for supporting us.
Thank you all so much for being here. Chris, thanks so much, man, for just having me on tonight. I'm excited for our event, brother. So excited.
Good to see you guys. Anything else, Mike?
No, I just want you all to know that it doesn't matter where you're at. You can do this. This is a doable thing if you apply the system. I promise you.
Yeah, me and Mike are
like the voice in the head out talk the possibilities, because it will. As for me, sometimes.
Me too. All right, guys. I'll see you Friday. Thank you. Get registered up. Peace.